Flosstube, it's Carolyn Zook here with Zook Stitch. This is Flosstube number 5. Today is Saturday, February 23rd. You're going to see this on Sunday, February 24th in 2019. Thank you for spending part of your Sunday morning with me. For all the new subscribers, I've had a lot of new subscribers. I think a lot of you came over from Jan Hicks of Jan Hicks Creates. So thank you so much for subscribing and for being with us today. Welcome to everybody. I'm Carolyn, as I just said, and I upload every 2 weeks. I'm a monogamous stitcher, more or less, so far, and I upload every 2 weeks just so that we have a little bit more to talk about. So I'm going to jump right in and get started. So WIP update. So I'm currently working on Pretty Little Hawaii, and this pattern is by Jody Rice, Satsuma Street. This is what it will look like when it's done. It's very pretty. I love the colors in this. And I'll insert a picture of where I was last time. And this is where I am today. I didn't get much done. I didn't get a lot of stitching done these past couple of weeks. I was dealing with some arthritis issues, and then my folks came for a visit, and sometimes we sit around and talk, and I can stitch during that time, and sometimes we sit around and talk and I can't stitch during that time. So I didn't get a whole lot done. I finished this, which I think is the capital. The nice thing about, I don't have it with me, but the nice thing about the Pretty Little series is that she includes a chart of the landmarks, so you know what you're stitching. I believe that's the Capitol building. So I got that done, and then I just did a lot of filling in of little bits and pieces here and there throughout. So it probably doesn't look too much different than last time. I was feeling a little worn out on this, to be honest. Not because I don't like the design or anything. It's a beautiful design. The colors are really beautiful. There's a lot more, I don't want to say confetti, because it's definitely not like a heaven and earth designs by any means, but there's a couple colors here, a couple colors there. And I just kind of I think I got kind of worn out, and I was dealing with arthritis flare up. So I just I did do some, and I do want to finish it before I move on, which is getting harder and harder. But it has taken me a while. So that's where I'm at. This grime guard is from Garan Toten Bags. It's beautiful. They do beautiful work. I'll link them below. But here's Pretty Little Hawaii. So that's what I've done. This is on 18 count Fiddler's cloth in light oatmeal. This is the called for fabric, and I'm just using DMC, all called for. I'm not making any substitutions. I think her color choices are just beautiful. So I'm just using the called for, and it's all in DMC. So that's my WIP update. But don't worry, I have more to talk about. So when my folks were here, we went to Acorns Threads, which is my local needlework shop here in Portland, Oregon. It's my first time visiting, and oh my gosh, I fell in love. I didn't get any video or photos. I just was taking it all in. It's incredible, of course. Janine there helped me. She's the owner, I believe. She helped me. I went in just looking for that fabric for Harbor Haven. The Harbor Haven saga continues. I ended up buying fabric. I don't have it with me because it was special ordered. Do I remember what I ordered? No, don't remember. Do I remember what count I ordered? No, don't remember. We looked at, so many different pieces of fabric, and Janine was helping me, and she was fantastic and really listened to kind of what my comfort level was. I'm not to the point where I want to stitch on linen yet. I think I got a Lugana. It will be a surprise when it comes in, so it'll be a surprise for you and me. But I got it, and she's special ordering, and it's a large piece, so we're going to do it. We're going to go with it, and I'm really excited to see it because I have one picture in my head of something that I was really close to getting, but then I think we switched at the last minute, but I can't quite remember. Isn't that funny? I have no idea. But I will say, so what she did is she also talked me into changing out a little bit of the colors, just the color for the water in Harbor Haven. And as a reminder, Harbor Haven is by the by the Bay Needle Arts. I'll insert a picture here of what it will look like. So you've seen this before because I've been talking about it from the beginning. So you all will probably be very thrilled as I am, to get started on this thing. So we decided, and by we I really mean Janine, that to change the color of the water, because water shows movement, right? And it's not all one color. So the called for color of the water is this. It's DMC 503. Yeah, 503. It's a beautiful color. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this color. I like that it's kind of a sagey green. I think that's beautiful. But what she talked me into was a variegated. This is a Threadworks overdyed. It's color number 1056. I don't know if it has a name, but can you see the variegation in that? It's going to be beautiful, and I think it's going to show a lot of movement in the piece when it's done. And then there are some solid pieces in the water. I think there's to indicate waves or just darker spots in the water. I'll try to put in a close-up picture here of what I'm talking about. So for the solid pieces, she suggested this DMC. This is 3848, and it's like a darker teal. So these two will be together. And I think that'll be really pretty. So I got two. She's going to order me one or two more because it is such a large piece. So that will be coming in along with my fabric. And you would think, oh, okay, Carolyn, that's great. Great job at Acorns Threads. But that's not all. It's like opening up this Pandora's box. I was getting ready to leave. We were on our way out the door. And right by the door, they had the Country Cottage Needleworks Glitter House. Yeah. I was restrained. I only bought the first two. There's 4 out now. I think the 5th one, there's going to be 9 pieces together, or 9 total patterns. I bought the first 4 are out. See, I restrained. I didn't buy all 4. So this is Glitter House 1. So cute. And then Glitter House 2. Isn't that cute? And they had it on a long piece of fabric going horizontally. This is one of those where you could do 3 by 3. You could do individual ornaments, however you want to do it, flat folds, however you want to do it. I decided that, well, by I decided, I mean Janine, at Acorns and Threads, just said that it'd be really pretty to do it. And she said if I could do it over again, I would do it actually horizontally so that they would, that they would go all the way down and make like a bell pull. So that's what I'm going to do. I ordered the fabric. Again, I don't know what I ordered. I just said, this is what I want. I want it to look exactly like yours. And, you know, add it to my tab. Why not? So, yeah. And so for both of these, I, to save a little bit of money, and because I'm using DMC, which is great. I don't have anything. I've only ever used DMC, and I'm happy with it. But Janine brought up a good point that it might be fun for the body of the house to use a variegated, the called for. And I don't have the pattern in front of me either to know what it's called for. Great, Carolyn. Really great. But it's a variegated, so I think just for the body of the houses, I'm going to get the variegated fancy floss and use DMC for the rest because I have a lot in my stash and I'm happy to use that. So that was, I'm looking at my notes here. So that was Acorns and Threads, and I want to go back ASAP. She said the fabrics would probably take 2 or 3 weeks to get in, which is more than fine because I'm still finishing up Pretty Little Hawaii. But when that comes in, it's going to be really hard not to start, especially Harbor Haven. So yeah, so that was Acorns and Threads. And if you remember from my last video, I mentioned that I was having troubles with my sewing machine. My sewing machine I've had for probably 20 years, close to 20 years. It was my grandmother's she got it in 1969. It's a great machine. One of those, they don't make it like that anymore. My grandmother sewed on it. My aunt sewed on it. My aunt is a fantastic seamstress. She sews all sorts of bags and clothes. And my mother sewed clothes when I was little. I don't think on this machine. But this is so sweet. On the machine, my grandfather had gone to the police station and gotten a special serial number and had etched it into the machine in case it got stolen. Because I guess people might steal sewing machines in the 70s. So this was, I'm very sentimental about this machine. So I started having a lot of issues with it a couple years ago. And it was one of those things where I should take it in for a tune-up. I didn't. And then and it just becomes this weight on you that here's this machine. I feel sentimentally attached to it. But it wasn't working well and it wasn't working right. And so I had my mom look at it when she was visiting. And I said, can you just look at this and see what you think? If, it's worth taking in, for a tune-up could be $100, which is worth it. But also you can get a decent new machine for not much more than that. And so my mom looked at it and she said she discovered that the chamber that holds the needle and that moves the needle just wasn't working. And this is my mother's machine. And my grandmother's no longer with us. And when my mother said, sweetie, you just need a new machine, it kind of gave me permission to be like, okay, here's this. I could put the money into it to have it fixed, have it looked at, hope they have the parts to it. But with my mother's blessing, we donated the machine and maybe somebody else can use it for parts or something. So we donated it. So I got a new machine, which I'm really excited about. And my mother was I think I was more sentimentally attached to the machine than she was, even though it was her mother and father's machine. But I got a new machine. My parents bought it for me as an early birthday present. So I feel very, very lucky. I'm very excited. Here's a picture of what I got. It's a Singer Fashion Mate 3342. I don't know what those numbers mean. It's a pretty basic machine. I wanted something, nothing digital, nothing computerized. This is about, I think maybe one step above really basic. I have only played around with it for just a few minutes to make sure it worked. We got it at Joann's. There was a sale. It was $120 on sale at Joann's. And when I first started doing the first stitches on the machine, I hadn't realized how just kind of old and clunky and how much trouble the old machine was giving me over the years. I did all my quilting on the old machine and it worked fine. And I think this machine it's great and it has all metal interiors, but I don't think it's not weighty enough to handle quilting. But for I don't think I'm going to quilt probably ever again. It's too much. You need too much space. I have cats that get into it. I think my quilting days are done, or I can upgrade later if I decide I want to go into it. I just basically wanted this for quick finishing projects. And who knows, maybe I'll sew some as well. I'm not a great sewer. Straight lines, I'm still working on getting straight lines. So I am by no means along the lines of my mother or my aunt, who are really, really great at sewing. So I got a new machine and it's lovely and it's wonderful and it's so smooth. I can't get over it. So it's really simple. So far it's going really well. I haven't done a lot with it, but it's just dials, just simple, $120 on sale. So I thought that was a really good purchase and I'm really excited. And for the first time in my life, I haven't read a new machine. I've never had my own machine before. Also at Joann's, I got something I'm really excited about for storing my DMC floss. I got one of these. Look at this. Can you see? It's a photo storage box. It's the big one. They had smaller ones. I got the big one. I needed something. At first, I was starting to bobbinate all my DMC that I would get. So sometimes I would buy on eBay just to rebuild up my stash after getting back into cross stitching after 20 years. I would just buy a random assortment on eBay for $20 and I'd get 100 skeins. And, I started bobbinating. I'm like, why am I doing this? This takes so much time and it's kind of unnecessary. So I bought this. Let me see if I can pull out an example. And I put labels on all of them because I love good organization. And it's to hold 4x6 photos. But you know what? A skein of DMC fits in there perfectly. So I think you can fit quite a lot in here. And it keeps them nice and clean. They're safe. I did, 100 to 199, 200, 299, and so on. And then I gave a special one to the whites and the 310s because I will probably have a lot of those. And I did, just because they're so tiny, I did kit up 2 of the glitter houses. I probably won't keep them in here, but just for now, because they are kitted up, I have them in there. I love this. There's very little more that I love on this earth than plastic storage containers. Pretty simple gal, really. So I got that at Joann's, and that was also on sale. And I think I might get another one as well. And then they were having a big President's Day blowout sale on their fat quarters. And so I just got some, they were $1 a piece, down from, I think originally they were $3. I just got a variety. I got 10 of them. This is like a silver metallic for various finishing projects, to kind of build up my stash, to kind of practice sewing on. This is like it's pretty true to color. It's like a blue-purple metallic. So I just got these to kind of build up my stash, and if I wanted to practice on or make small projects to practice on, I can do that. And those were only $1 a piece. Love that. That reminds me of spring. This is kind of a wild one, but I also kind of love it. I'm thinking of sewing my own sewing machine cover, dust cover. It came with one, but it's pretty flimsy, and I thought that might be a fun project to just try out the machine on, and pretty simple, and I think I can get away with using the fat quarters. So that's a couple fall ones, and then just some solid burgundy and a solid purple. So that's what I got at Joann's. And then on Amazon, I got a needle organizer. This is the brand. It's called Paco. I'll link this all below. And what I was using, so this is my organization from Pretty Little Hawaii. What I was using was this really thin paper. And you can see, I don't know if you can see all the holes. It worked fine, but the needles would fall out because it's just paper, and I probably could use cardstock and have a little bit better luck. But why use cardstock when you have one of these? Now, this kind of bugs me. This is why I don't like those floss, what do you call them? The floss holders, because this all just bugs me. Because it gets tangled. I'm worried about it pulling out, and then I have to search through and figure out what color it is. But this, you pull this out. So this is just like a sponge underneath, and I think you can buy replacement parts. This, you pull out and you draw on the symbol, or you can write the numbers in, and it's back to back, and you get 10 of them, and again, you can buy additional ones, replacement ones if you need. And you just slide it in here. Oh gosh, I hope I put it in the right way. I should have thought of that before I took it out. I think it's okay. So if you're working on a big project, so this is not all the colors. I need to get more needles, but this is not all the colors in Pretty Little Hawaii, but it's just the ones I'm currently working on. So it's neat. I really like it. It was about $16, which I think is a little pricey for what it is. But I like it, and it works so far, and it keeps the needles really, they're nice and handy, and you just pluck them out. And so far, I haven't had any issues with them falling out or anything like that. And I do have to keep this in my sewing bag because I have cats, and I don't want the cats to get into the floss. So I got that. It's called a Paco, and I'll link that below. I think that's everything I have to show you. I'm looking around. Oh, no. Hold on. I don't know if you guys are interested in this. I have a subscription to Just Cross Stitch. So my April issue came in. I haven't looked at it yet, but I do have a subscription to this one. And then I go to Barnes & Nobles once in a while, and I look at the European or the UK cross-stitch magazines. So I got, does it say what month? Cross Stitch Crazy. Anyway, I don't know what month. I think it's the spring one because it's talking about cherry blossoms. So I got this, and this came with a free little kit, aperture card kit. Isn't that cute? And it comes with everything you need. It has a needle, the floss, the fabric. It's an Ada, maybe 14 count. So I thought that was really cute. So I'm excited to look through that. I haven't looked through that yet. And this is in the magazine section, but it's really more of a book. Sewing for beginners. It just covers the basics, a lot of which, frankly, I've forgotten. And it includes some projects and kind of familiarizes you with the sewing machine. So I got that as well. And that is my haul. So that's pretty good for 2 weeks. And maybe next time I will have fabric for Harbor Haven to show you in my sweet little hands. So before I go, one last thing I want to talk about, and I purposely saved this for the end. We have hit over 500 subscribers, and I'm so excited, and I'm so grateful for you watching and subscribing and joining me on this journey. I really feel like we have the best community out there in terms of cross-stitchers are such a welcoming community, and I am so grateful and humbled to be a part of it. So I want to do a giveaway for hitting the 500 subscribers marks. So be subscribed if you can. And the question I want you to answer in the comment section below is just simply tell me where you like to stitch. Tell me your favorite stitching spot. It can be the favorite one that you did one time when you were on vacation. It can be your daily ritual. If you don't stitch, because I know we have some knitters who are watching. I know we have some people who are maybe thinking about stitching or just don't stitch but watch. Then that's fine. Tell me where you hang out or where you think you would like to stitch if you do stitch or whatever craft you do. Tell me about it. Tell me where it is and what you like about it. For me, I do cross stitch in my bed. It's just really cozy. The lighting isn't great, to be honest, because I have a bedside table. So I am looking for a clamp on little like book light that will clamp on to my Q-snap. So that's where I like to stitch. So I only stitch in the evenings. I don't really stitch during the day. I work full time, and then on the weekends, I'm either doing housework or out running errands or honestly napping. So 500 subscriber giveaway. I didn't even tell you what you could win. So I'll do a random drawing of the people who tell me where they like to stitch. And I'm going to give away $15 gift certificate to any stitch shop that you want. So if it's something like 1, 2, 3 Stitch, if it's something we can make arrangements with your local stitch shop. It's basically what I had in mind was it's maybe a less expensive pattern and some floss to get you started. That's kind of what I had in mind. But anything you want from the stitch shop, and either I can order it for you and have it shipped to you, or I can just do, if they do gift certificates, I can just do a $15 gift certificate if you're trying to save up for kitting up a project or something like that. And frankly, it doesn't even have to be cross-stitch related. It should be a cross-stitch store, but if there's something else in that store. So I'm happy to do that. So thank you all so much for subscribing and for getting us to over 500 subscribers. Really, I started this January 1st, so less than 2 months, and I'm really grateful. And that's all I have for you today. So don't say giveaway in the comments either. I almost slipped. And that's, or free or anything like that, because that attracts trolls who will comment and aren't really a part of the community. So we don't say giveaway, we don't say free, anything like that. I will have to delete comments if we do that. I'll keep this open for 2 weeks. How about that? I'll keep it open for 2 weeks, and then in my next video 2 weeks from today, I will announce the winner. So 2 weeks, I have a calendar right beside me. So today's the 23rd. I film on Saturdays. So 1, 2. So I will keep it open until the 8th, March 8th at midnight. Okay, so March 8th at midnight, we'll close off the giveaway, and we'll pick a winner on Saturday the 9th. All right, everybody, have a great week, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks, bye.